Hello internets, Jesus loves you. My name's Cody and this is the Christian News Show we do on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays with geeksondergrace.com. And a couple things before we get into the news. First of all, you need to check out Jeremy Jason A. Jeremy recently became a friend of mine. He does vlogs on his own YouTube channel whenever he can. Overall, he's just a really cool dude and you should go subscribe. And secondly, if you wanted to help support the show, there's a couple ways you could do that. First of all, you could share this video. That does amazing things. Or right over here, you could help out financially if you wanted to. And I think it's important to start the day with hard-hitting, important news. And so the first story of the day is that In-N-Out Burger, a Christian company, has become America's #1 place to get a burger. And that was on my news feed. I don't know what it is about Christian companies and fast food, but they seem to do it the best. And if you don't believe me, then you've never been to Chick-fil-A. One thing I didn't know I find kind of cool is at the bottom of their cups, they actually have Bible verses on them. So that's kind of cool, I guess. Hard-hitting stuff. Next up, I want to talk about Tennessee making the state book the Bible. We've talked about it a few times now. Last time I said that it was going to be a thing. It seems that that's not going to be the case anymore. Before making a final decision, the Senate decided they're going to put the entire idea on the shelf. Probably a bookshelf. Because it's a book. I'll leave. And there's no real reason why they are doing this. I mean, the votes were unanimous with the House of Representatives, but it just seems that they can't agree on whether or not they want to do it. For me personally, I still think it's a cool idea. I don't know why. I just think it's fun. And moving on from that, we need to go to a high school in Wisconsin. A teacher told her students that they were going to be writing an essay. The topic was to pretend that you were a Muslim living in the United States and then to describe the struggles that you would go through. And of course, some parents got mad at this because you were telling their kids that they need to pretend that they're another religion. And some people are saying that this is exaggerating a prejudice. Which, if I'm honest with you, I really don't think is the issue here. I think the problem is that you brought religion into it. If you would have just said, pretend that you were a minority that is being discriminated against, I don't think it would have become such a big deal. In fact, that's probably a really good thing for students to be thinking about. But say that you have a student who is Muslim and they told their parents that the teacher asked them to pretend they are a Christian in the Middle East, they'd probably have an issue with that as well. I am so glad that in high school, for the most part, religion never even came up unless it was student-led. And I made it very clear in high school that I was a Christian, but it was never questioned or tested by a teacher, no matter how small. It just didn't happen. Though that being said, I don't believe that Wisconsin did something wrong here. I think they just worded what they were doing very poorly. And the final story of the day is the question of the day, and that is, would you go to a loved one's gay wedding? Marco Rubio was asked this, and if you're not familiar with that name, he is running for the Republican Party right now. And also Rick Santorum, who is not running for president as of yet, but people expect him to do so, also was asked the question. So first off, Marco Rubio, he says yes, if a loved one was going to have a gay wedding, he would attend because that's a very big life event for them. Saying that just because he doesn't agree with all of their opinions doesn't mean that he's not going to be there for him. He wants to be a part of their lives if they're friends or loved ones or whatever. Rick Santorum saying, no, you can love and support somebody without going against what you believe. Which I get what he's saying, but I don't know if you can support somebody without supporting them. For me, I don't know of any family members who are gay, but if I had a friend who was going to get married, I would totally go to their gay wedding. I'd support you. But the question of the day is, would you guys go to a gay wedding for a relative or a loved one? I want to know what you guys have to say, so please leave a comment in the comment section below with your answer. I'm really interested on this, because I know I have a lot of conservative viewers, so this will be interesting. Make sure to check out geeksondergrace.com. My name's Cody, Armour, bringing Christian news in a not so boring kind of way, or at least I hope so, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. In closing, let the haters hate, let the Christians pray. To everybody, like, subscribe, please. That would be amazing. And God bless.